What's up, everybody? Welcome back to How It's Done. Today I'm going to be talking about this new dash cam that I've got. Didn't really feel I was going to need one at first when I first got the truck, but after 3 months I've already had somebody back into me and already had somebody hit the truck with a cart full of wood, so decided to go for the Vantrue N4 Pro. There's also just a regular Vantrue N4. This one's a little bit more expensive. It's about $100 more. It's about a mid-range camera. I've seen some cameras, dash cam wise, that are less than $100. I've seen some that are $800-900. So yeah, this one's about mid-range price point. Got pretty good reviews. I'll walk you through all the specs on that, and we will show you how to get that installed today on How It's Done. Alright, so in the box, you're going to get, obviously, the front-facing camera. It's actually a 3-camera setup. It's got a front-facing camera and a passenger-facing camera on this one. And then this is the one that's going to go in the back window for the rear view. Then it's got all the cables and everything. I'm guessing that's what this is in here. Yeah. Cables and everything. The nice thing about the Pro is you can link it to the app through the built-in Wi-Fi, and you can download your videos straight to your phone or your computer or whatever you want to do with that in the event of an issue. There's also a couple little features that apparently if you've got all 3 cameras going on the regular version, it downgrades the video quality. Here it keeps consistent video quality on all of them when you've got all 3 running at the same time, so a little bit more of a capable camera. Other than that, not really much difference, so depending upon what you need, might just be easier to save yourself $100 and go with the regular version. So we have everything opened up, ready to go. A couple things I want to go over real quick. They do have these little electrostatic pieces of plastic. These are supposed to help get you a better grip on the windshield and the back window. You can see here that this truck has the sliding back window that goes to the side here, so we're going to have to do the camera off to the left a little bit for the rear. Then we're just going to tuck the wire underneath the trim here, run it along the trim for the door, making sure that it's in the, basically in the weather stripping here. Tuck it back in there. We'll pry it back with a little tool that they gave us, and then we'll run the wire down to the fuse box for the camera. Now this camera does come with a powered mount, so the power for the camera actually goes into here, and then the power for this guy will come from the top of this camera where it says rear, so that when you're taking this off to plug it in, or if you're not going to be connecting this with Wi-Fi, whatever that is off, if you're not going to be connecting it with Wi-Fi, you can just take it in, take it off, clean it, whatever. But it's really easy to disconnect from here. This literally just is like a slide in with magnetic. It just pops right in like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to position this, because it does have that cab facing camera, which is going to be good in the event that anybody breaks into the truck. That way you can see them inside the truck. It also lets you see passengers. So I'm going to mount this just below where, you know, it's above the mirror, below this little center area. Alright, so you can probably see I've used this straight connection point here because it's just going straight up, and then getting tucked. See if you can see that underneath here. Then I just continued to feed it back along here, and now that we get to this part, you can remove this if you really want to get super into it. I personally like just tucking it in the corner. You're never going to see that, only I'm going to know it's there. And then this, you can use your finger or the little tool that they gave you to pry a little bit back and just wrap it around there, and then continue to pull this weather stripping back tuck it up underneath there. Alright, and this is how this looks. It does have a little bit of a bulge here because that's where I had to stick the extra couple foot of wire. But other than that, yes, I was able to just tuck it. Oop, come on, focus. I was able to just tuck it right back underneath there, and that hit it super well. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Looks pretty close to how it does on the other side. A little bit larger gap in some spots, but pretty good. So you are going to need a micro SD card for this. Both the Vantrue N4 Pro and the Vantrue N4 are going to require SD cards that go up to 512 gigabytes. They make their own version of them, which they are obviously going to try and sell to you. Personally, I like just going with the ScanDisk. It's, you know, well known. They've been around for a while. It works, and I don't need to worry about if I'm going to use it on anything else if there's going to be any compatibility issues. So to put in the SD card, super easy. This comes off, SD card just goes in there. It's magnetic, so it just kind of clicks itself back in. I will include a link in the description for both of these cameras, the Pro and the regular version of the N4. On Amazon right now, there are coupons you can click to get, I think, $50 off, and I believe it's $80 for the Pro version, but you know, it might change obviously. But at the time I'm recording this, that's what it is. So I'll put a link in the description for that. Now let's go ahead and get the wire run to the fuse box for the power. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is take this kit that I ordered. Separate piece, doesn't come with it. It actually comes with this little cigarette lighter plug-in. If your cigarette lighter has a battery emblem on it like this, it's going to be giving constant power to your camera, so that's fine, you can do that. I didn't want to have the wires, you know, on the dash, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it up here, hide it just like we did for the camera in the back, run it down, and then all the way back along the inside here, and over to the fuse box back here. And then we'll go ahead and connect it up to the fuses. So I'll show you what we do on that. So one thing that's important to mention when you're doing this, it's important to have the fuse that you pulled out. So in this case, it's the 10 amp fuse, the closest to the prongs, because that's the one that is going to feed right back through the prongs. The other one is just going to feed straight through to your lead for the camera. So on this particular setup, we need to have one that has constant power, which would be the battery. So when the vehicle's not running, it has power. We need to have one that is the accessory. So basically when the vehicle is turned on, or when it's, you know, if you had a vehicle with a key, when the key is turned to that first position. And then the other one will be going to the ground, so you're going to want to find a good spot for steel and do that. What I like to do is test. I'll have one tester lead on here, one tester lead on the fuse when I'm checking for it. These fuses actually have little spots that you can just touch with the tester, and you can see if it's got 12 volts or whatever when it's not running, so on and so forth. So we did that. Got this one set up for the actual battery version. Now we're going to go ahead, see if we can get this with one hand. Put this one back up here where I pulled it out from. Pop that in. And then we'll run the wires and just plug those two leads in here. And what I'll probably do is, when I'm putting the metal plate back on this that I took off to get access to it, I'll just put that lead for the ground underneath that. So yeah. Alright, so once you've got it powered up and turned on, go through and we'll select English, pick our time zone, pick our date format. At the moment it is, get all that corrected. Let's see, how do I go to next? There we go, we get all that done. Go ahead and set your miles per hour, whether your Wi-Fi is 5G or 4G, or I'm sorry, 5G or 2.4. See, all data will be deleted off the SIM card. Yeah, there's nothing on there, so that's fine. And then it'll get it formatted. Alright, and there you go. It is recording. It's set up. The only thing we need to do, which I'm going to have to figure out, is it looks like the rear view camera is flipped. So yeah, this won't work when you're recording, but in order to flip the back camera, you're going to go over here to the settings, go to record setup, go down to rotate, hit OK, and then you go down to rear, and it will flip it for you, basically. It rotates it 180. Yeah, that should be pretty much it to it. You can go in and download the app and set it up that way, connect it to Wi-Fi, get that all done. But yeah, thanks for joining us on How It's Done. We will see you next time.